Good evening, friends. Welcome to Eastern Academy. We are into embedded system programming online sessions. And today we are going to discuss about C programming session 4. The last three sessions we have discussed about how to start a programming and how to make small decisions. And you know that the critical part of the C programming is all about loops. The people who cross the loops, they become a good programmer. That's a trick. Most people get stuck only on the loops. Okay, so let us see that how to solve these loop problems. Okay, that's a trick. Mostly everybody love to learn that. Am I right? That's you. If you see that most of the time you get stuck there only. Why we get stuck in the loop? That first of all we should understand why we get stuck in loop. That's a trick. We do it daily, the activities. Let us take a small example. Let's take one of the small example. I have a box. The box has so many shapes: circle, square, triangle. So many shapes are there. Pentagon. So the box has so many, the box. Now you can put your hand, take only one shape at a time. Let us assume that this is a closed box. You have a place to put your hand only one and take a thing. If I ask you to find out how many squares are there, you'll do very simple. You know that. You'll put a shape and check is square. Check, shape is square. The trick is that we every day do that. See, please understand, we every day do these things. But the only issue is how to convert this into program. And let me give you a small hint today also. So please understand the difference between three. There are three steps you should do. Normally we have a practice. When I start giving a problem, everybody directly write a code, main. And then int A, B, C, we do that. Am I right? That is not generally advisable. That is not generally advisable. You should write in a thing here, get X, Y, and do these activities. Write them in a cryptic form. This you cannot compile it. Compiler will give you error this. And this has to be done by English or your own language, whatever your mother tongue. If you are very happy about Hindi or Telugu or Tamil, write them on your mother tongue. So first of all, if you don't know what you are doing, then you cannot convert it to cryptic form. This is called program. And then the next one is called coding. This is the last stage. Generally, industry does not give a great respect for coders. Coding is very simple. But you should be a good programmer. To be a good programmer, you should be able to write it on a narrative on your paper, English. This is normally taught in the schools and colleges. You know that the schools and colleges, we are not being practiced to teach others what we know. Please understand, that's a mistake we have it. you need to correct it. You are trying to do now totally a different task. That's why I'm seeing every day the people, those who are writing program are getting stuck. That's wrong. You have to develop your own fluency. How to write a program in a nice way. That's very important. So this is one of the very, very simple tasks, but generally we get stuck. The main portion we stuck is on decision. See, generally, if you say in your life also, we get stuck in the decision making. Because for us, somebody always take decision for us. Whether you do at school or whether you college or what job you have to go, whether you have to be study in India or travel outside, you have so many things. You understand? That decision making, you have to practice. So the same thing happens in life also. You should learn to practice how to make decision. That I'm not here discussing. I'm not a psychology consultant. I'm a engineering person. Okay, so please understand. This I'm not bothered. No, why I'm making a point here is a place we do the mistake. How do we make the decision? And in the last class, we discussed a little bit about how to make a decision. You don't think this is done. If you know this small 2-letter word, if you know how to do it, you will become a very good C programmer. You'll be a very good embedded system programmer. Please. Both are same. We get confused here. So if you are beginner in C, you're not written much programs in C. Always don't start with for or while. Always start with if. This one is very good actually. If a condition and do this and go to. Let me be honest. This is what all about program. How the for and while are behaving. That's next. So if you see that everybody is discussing with me on the WhatsApp on programming, I start always giving you a program based on the simple mathematical operation. You understand the trick? Because this is what the way you should learn it. You know, simple operations, mathematical operations, you can do them. Then apply that to programming, which you don't know. The problem is you don't know how to teach this to the computer. That's what programming. Now you are doing only one variable. Please learning one thing. Do only one variable. This is what generally in industry, we call it as a domain knowledge. That means that either if you are very good in domain, let us say I'm very good in auditing, or I'm very good at manufacturing, then I should write a program for that. So this is the problem here. So most people get stuck here. It'll be very simple. You will do the first system. If you gently watch yourself, you do the first system. First step is if and condition and get away. That is a very simple step. You do that. And you can do that multiple way. See, always you try to like this. If A equal to B and A not equal to C. This all we write. That is, if this is satisfied and this is satisfied, we do that. But normally I prefer initial days to start writing a code like this. Then come inside. Okay. Then you check if A is not equal to C. Make it as a two ifs. So you will understand. You will understand how do we write a program. This is what the way we write the ifs. Second one is, after you have done this, second one is like this. We do if some condition, then do this and go back. So loop. Go to loop. This is we get second stuck. Now the third one is this. If condition loop one. Go to. Now within the condition, you check if. Go to loop two. You understand? Where we get stuck generally in programming is this. Yeah. You can do any number. It doesn't matter. If somebody is asking that, how many I can use and that. See, let me tell you one thing. The if does not bother. I can say that if A equal to B, so A equal to 5, and then B not equal to 6, and then C not equal to 7, and then you can do that. You can write any big, doesn't matter. You can write any number of things, and C will always take care of that. There's a one statement. What the C does is, if you do if, see, let me tell you one thing. If you do if, whatever you do here, the C will evaluate this separately and make sure the result is 0 or 1. 0 means false, 1 means true. So now I'm coming to the very important task that we get stuck, and if you know it. So the very purpose of this machine, the computer, is a processing power. If I ask you to add 7654321 multiplied by 96321, you get bored. You will take how much of time? So you never like. But in a computer, I can ask him to add this number 7654321. How many times? This many times, 96,000 times. You will do it faster. So never worried about loops in computers. So you say X is equal to 7,65,000 764,321, and Y is equal to 96321. Am I right? I've written now. Now I say that if Y is greater than 0, Y is greater than 0, do this. Loop. Understand how I'm writing? I'm just starting. Now I say result. Result is equal to 0. I've noticed one small thing which I want to tell you now itself, programming. People write here, I say int X comma Y comma result. Then I write here, program Y is greater than 0. It's right, because Y is 96321. It comes down. I say sum is equal to, sorry, result. Result equal to result plus x. Then I say y is equal to y minus 1. I'm decrementing this. Then I say go to loop. This loop will take place how many times? 96,321 times. But will it give the result properly? Anybody? Anybody can tell me now. Will I get the result properly? Or not? Is it like it's a right this program is right or wrong? Can anybody get this program is right or wrong? Yeah, semicolon fine. That's fine. This program is right or wrong? Okay, somebody says wrong. Very good. Anybody else? Correct. That's perfectly somebody said. This is the problem. This one, you say result is equal to result plus x. Now, what will happen now? Result is gone. Am I right? And somebody said int become exceeding this, multiply this number. Yeah, tell me. So,
the result should be initialized with 0 or some number.
Correct. Yeah, you should do that. That's the thing. I'm telling you, no.
Otherwise, it will give garbage value.
Correct. A lot of people are giving the, which I'll explain later on a C programming. This is called, how do we store the things? It's called storage class. When we discuss about storage class, you will understand. The storage class, we will discuss about where it's storing. There are two types of variables. One is called global, one is called local. Global is initialized, but local will not be initialized. That's a problem. So we will discuss about that in the C language class, not now. Okay. So this is the, now let me start giving you the example now, the other example. So I have a basket. This has so many things: circle, square, triangle, and hexagon, so many things. It's a very simple example, what we do day to day life. And you pick one by one, even a small kid will do. Even a small kid, if you ask, they will take the thing, they will say, oh, this is not square, throw it away. This is not square, throw it away. The moment it gets a square, it will say 1. Then next time it gets a square, it say 2. Then 3. Then 4. Then fine. So I say I get the answer 4 because there are 4 squares. I will take till the last box is there. Am I right? This is what we do loop. So we tell them very clearly, take a piece, check for this one, square. If square, if yes, increment. Go to start. If you know this, see why I'm telling you this is, I know that most of you may be thinking that why Balaji is explaining this simple concept, but that's it. There's nothing, I do not find anything great in the programming except this. Now I'll explain, I'll ask you one more thing here. There's a trick, how things goes like this, how exactly this is getting developed. Now I say that you tell the same school kid, hey, take the square. The square, something is red color. Some squares are red color. Some squares are blue color. Someone is green color. Some square is a green color. Now what happened? You will take a square. Okay. Then you check for square. When you come to the square inside, then you once again do a checking. Check for square. If yes, check for blue. Am I right? Check for blue. That is fine. Next. Now what happened? Every square is having a number. Every square is having a number. Now red will have 1, blue will have 1, 2, and green will start from. So everything will have a 1, 2 number. Let us say red will have 1, 2, 3 like that. Blue will have 1, 2, 3. Now if I ask you that in the blue, take only 2. Now I'll do if yes, if blue, check for blue. If yes, check for 2. Then I'll count. See, now you are doing indirectly. First you are checking a piece till it's available. Then you check for square. Then you check for blue. Then you check for 2. Same thing here. You do the same thing here. I do a thing if I'll check first time a number, whether number is equal to some x. X is equal to odd number. You check, sorry, x percentage 2 equal to 1. Check. It's a very simple. If I ask you that, count all the odd numbers. It's quite simple. You will do that loop. If x is percentage 2, say I'm using only if. I'm not using for because we are trying to discuss about loops. Okay, don't get confused why Balaji is not discussing about for or while. Okay, that I'll explain to you the difference between all these things in my next session on C. Okay, coming session, maybe next session I'll explain to you about that. So all are same for me. So you will understand all are same that section. There is no difference between if, for, or while, or switch. All are same. There's nothing great difference at all. So here you check. I am checking. Initially I say x is equal to 0. Now I'm checking the x is equal to odd. Now I am telling you that x should be an odd number and which is to be divisible by 5. Divisible by 5. Then you will say, first you check the odd number. Then you will come inside if x percentage 5 equal to 0. Then you do that. Understand? So you should learn this art of doing this. This place is the one we do the mistake. You understand? So no, this bracket is for if. This is for 2. That's why I always write, always understand the thing. Always start with writing if. If you do that, do. Then if, always bracket. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Either way, you should. That is that's correct. Somebody asked me that. Can I check x percentage 5 equal to 0, and then x percentage 2 equal to 1. Okay. There are two things. Right now we are discussing this. This is coming under the thing called performance optimization. Is coming under the thing called performance or optimization. So yeah, can do that. If so many methods are there. If A okay. So try to learn. If you are not doing this nested if, you have to do lots of exercise on this. If you feel that, if anybody say that I'm not going out of this step, 2 loops, then I'll start giving you more exercises. So learn this. Now, people ask the thing, why should we use for the programming? Why should I use while? When you will use for, when you will use while, when you will use if. Generally, people do not recommend if for loop. If is only for one type of discussion. So we don't initially, even though beginners, I say that learn if, but general programming concept, we don't use if for looping. The reason is, yeah, all are same. We'll discuss about that on C language. What is this? Okay. Now, when I say that if this condition, we check for only true or false, not for loop. We do not use generally in the programming goto. But very unfortunate. This is a very good tool for learners. If you use goto, you will understand the programming very well, because that's a very natural way of learning. But if you start writing a bigger program, that goto is not very good statement. Instead of that, we use for. So you initialize and you check condition and you do the action. This is at the end of action. When you will use for, when you will use while, that's a trick. For, we use it when we know that I want to count from 1 to 1,000. Or I want to count from 3,000 to 50,000. Check something. I want you to do that. When you know the count, you will do the for. If I ask you that, hey, add a sum from 100 to 50,000, one by one. The moment sum reached 12,500, if it goes beyond 12,500, quit. Understand? So now what happened? I'll say x is equal to 100. Sum is equal to 0. While sum is less than 12,500, less than or equal to, because I said more than that. Less than or equal to 12,500, I'll say sum is equal to sum plus x. And x is equal to x plus 1. Go to loop. Sorry, not go to loop. That's it. Because while itself goes there by natural theory. So please understand. So you use the while when you don't know till what. I don't know. I'm starting from 100, but I don't know till what. I don't know. Then the while meaning is called till. But the for is for a range, starting from here, ending the range. So now I say I is less than 10,000. So when you this is a convention. See, please understand. Where you are using while, you can use for. While using for, you can while. That is our second stage. So they are called stage 2. See, don't get confused with stage 1 of programming, stage 2 of programming. You'll be surprising that there's nothing is there in programming. Let me be honest. Literally nothing is there in programming. Literally nothing is programming. I'll come to you later point. That is, we go slowly. Next level and all, we'll discuss about algorithm. Then you will know that real C is coming. It is that time you'll understand the difference between programming and coding. Since you don't understand the difference between programming and coding, you really worried about, I know only C. I know only C, not like that. These are all coding. Your programming is a common method. If you write a programming thing, you can code it in C or C++ or Java. That's what we are discussing. So please understand. So first of all, you do the first loop, for loop, learn it. Pakka, perfect. If you could learn the first for loop, it's very good. Then second for loop is doing within the check. Then you can do the nested. There's nothing like that. Okay, so you can keep on doing the loop within the loop. That's coming under the nice practice. That's why most of the people, I find out that when I give a sum, most people get stuck at prime number. And normally I don't explain now. Here also in the class, I'm not going to explain that. Okay. But why people get confused on the prime number is, this has two loops. First for loop is for taking a number from 1 to, if I say that up to 100, you will check 1 to 100, the numbers. Second for loop is for checking for prime. So how do you solve this type of problems is very simple. Normally, while all the loop problems has to be solved in a very nice way. We do small trick. Even my programs, I've given us steps like that only. People may think it's very simple why I've given this, but that gives you the indirect stimulus. What is the thing? You know how to add two numbers. You know how to add 3 digits. You know how to add 4 digits. But the schools, they teach only this. They don't teach you how to add 100 digits. You understand? The school, they teach you 2 digit or 3, 2 or 3 or 4. But the moment you know 4 digit, then fine. You know you can do 100 digit. That's a small trick. You know it. They teach you the trick. Here also same thing. When you write a loop program, so you should always write a small number. You take a little bit. I less than 10,110. I may be asking you, I up to how much? 10,000 or 1 lakh or 1 million. Never do that. Start with very small number and do that program. It is very easy to debug. It is very easy to debug here. You can put printf here. Learn to use printf. Never, see, let me be honest. It is very difficult for you to understand initial C language. You think something, the C may be behaving differently. So to get into the proper C language understanding will take some time for you, since you are a beginner. So always understand you do printf within the loop. So when the printf comes here, when you print on the screen, you will know that how to solve the problem. There are so many methods that is called GDB and all. That don't get into those things now. That is all for next level. That is when you cannot do this level of programming, then you do that. That is coming into the. But if you say that people, I know GDB in your resume, it adds value. Okay, that's all high level debugging. GNU debugger. That's all very good. We have something called breakpoint. So many things. So don't get into those. Right now, you are trying to do the functionality. As I told you, right now I have about 55 problems. If you could be able to solve them very fluently, I'll tell you a small example. When I was creating this problem for students, my friend has asked me when we were traveling from Bangalore to Chennai, somebody has asked, you are writing the program, can you solve it? Right. I sat on the train at Bangalore, double decker, before it reaches Chennai. I could solve all the 55 problems. Even we had some time also. If you could solve these problems, 55 problems, in about a day, 1 day, then you are great. Now you have to do that. First, what you are trying to do is that solving problems. Second is you should know how to solve faster. Third is perfect. So understand. So the where you are going to stuck here is the problem is your loops. The loops, there are multiple kinds. You get, see, if I ask 4 of you to write a program, all the 4 will be working. All the 4 will be different. Somebody will solve the same problem with if. Somebody will be while. Somebody will be for. Somebody will be do while. Am I right? So that's the way we can do that thing. So people ask, when will I use while? What is while and do while? The while condition, you have a condition first. So you check the condition first, then you do the activity. In a do condition, you will do the activity, then you check for condition, then keep on doing that. Okay. So generally, that's the way people do it. If you want to do one time, then you check. For example, here, check for y is equal to check for switch. Check for switch. Press. It's a function. Then you can check it. Then you come back. That means that if the switch is pressed or not, you check it here. But here, you do the activity on the LED, on LED or anything. Then you check the switch. It's fine. There's nothing difference between this do while do. So don't get confused with while programming. I told you, if you do not know while and for. But one more thing I'm telling you, everybody, I see the code and people always write if condition bracket. Then next to whatever statement you do it with the tab. Do that. Maybe 4 spaces or minimum 4 spaces will be very good. This indentation will make you to me to read the programs very correctly. Understand? So loop is one of the finest way you should learn it. If you level of sums, whatever I'm giving, learn them that's why I'm always giving you a thing. 2 things I will do. First, I'll give you the range 1 to 10,000 something. That is a top loop. The second one is check. I can start giving you more. I can start giving you more difficult sums. But I want a clarity from you saying that these sums, I have done it so fast. I cannot see, please understand the thing. This is a problem with the programming. I have to teach you programming without telling you the solution. If I tell you that, if you tell me a solution, how do I do a prime number? I'm spoiling your programming concept at all. That's why what I do is, if you solve the problem, once you solved, then I send you the solution. If you solve the problem, then I give everybody, whoever solving the problem with me. After they solve the problem, I'm sending the solution to them. So they can compare with that solution and this solution. But both will be right. I may be thinking different and you may be thinking different. Okay, so don't get confused. You are right or wrong. So you may be, this is the biggest problem in teaching the programming. See, teaching a language is very simple. But teaching a programming is the most complex. Whichever help I'm doing, whenever I'm doing a help, I'm filing you. Now you see that even now here, I'm giving you the hints. I've given you that so many things, but I'm not telling you clearly how to write a program, because that has to come to you by practice. I've given you how do I write. I do a for, and I do a while. But please understand one thing. For example, I am checking from 1 to 10,000. I is equal to 1, I less than 10,000, I plus plus. Simple. Maybe you will, if you don't know for or while, please wait another half an hour time. Next session, I'll explain to you that for and while. Doesn't matter. So, if you do here, at about, let us say 400, you check a condition something. You check some condition. And that when it's become 400, that condition is satisfied. You have the option to get out of this or go back without doing the rest of the thing. Please understand, you have two possibilities. You have multiple, you check a condition. You have how many possibilities you see that? You have a condition. Let me do the bigger way, then you will understand. I say a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than 10,000, I plus plus. You check for a condition, if condition. Then you will do this and continue doing this also. So you will do this also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 also. You understand? So I will do all the statements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is one possibility. If the condition is not satisfied, I will do only condition yes. Then I'll do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now there's one more possibility here. Else A, B, C, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The condition, in this condition, else condition, I'll do A, B, C, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will, from the if I'll come here, I do this, then I'll continue here. Now the third, fourth possibility is, after the third one, okay, I'll get back. I'll get out. I will not be in the loop at all. Okay. The fifth possibility is, after this third or this, I will go back. I'll continue. Let us say this condition is satisfied at the 400. So in the first cases, I will do 1 to 400. Then I quit only this much. The second case, I will do 1 to 399. And the 400 checking is taking place. I will skip. I'll continue from 401 to 10,000. Whenever the condition is met, that is called continue. Another one is called break. Please understand the use of break and continue. There are two nice statements available in C. Continue will take back to the thing and break will get out. But how do you practice this? That's a trick. This does not comes. I'm telling you once again, our practicing level is well below average. Generally, our practicing level. We have to still increase our practicing level. Okay, that if you get stuck somewhere, let me know. How do you do that? So I summarize the thing. Initially do with if and go to. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with go to. That's a perfect statement initially. If you have any problem in this, let me know. Okay, this is the programming logic. You have to know perfectly this. Understand? This is to be very clear. Second is for. This do a small program. When I give my solution to your programs, I give a solution on all of them. When you solve the problem, when I give a solution, I'll give you a solution on if, for, and while. I'll use all of them and give a solution. So when you see the solution, you will get an idea how to use the if and for and while. I don't want to tell you any extra information before you start doing the programming. That's why we have enough of YouTube videos and enough of books and so many things that does not help you to be a programmer. The problem is the moment you see a solution, that looks to be easy for you. But when you start solving the problem, you will find it difficult. There's a big problem is there, which I've understood. That's why you will know that, hey, what Balaji is not telling the exact thing about programming. That is what I don't want. That I will discuss with individual people. When I know that you solve the problem, I'll send you the WhatsApp message, hey, you can try this, you can try that. But I will not tell it here because there are so many people here who have not yet started. Somebody has started and stuck at loop. Somebody has solved the first level. Somebody is going to the second level. So if I give a solution, you have gone. This is a very, we are in a very tricky moment now. Don't blame me. I'm telling you once again, repeatedly I'm telling you that this programming is a skill. I cannot teach a board on that. That you have to practice. Whatever I give you idea here, it's I can take any big program I can write. I can show you writing on your screen, but nothing will help you. That is not the way skill has to be taught. That I've understood. Now the thing is, if anyone wanted to say that I'm stuck, I want to have one-on-one call in Zoom. You can always ask me. I'll come to you one-on-one and try to explain to you that where you get stuck. But don't stop your process. If you cannot spend 1 hour a day, let me know. Let me know that why you cannot spend 1 hour a day, either early morning or late night. Especially, I prefer this to you do it on the late night before bed, before going to sleep. Before going to sleep, 1 hour. You understand here? So don't get confused between the language and programming. I'm not teaching here the language. In your next session, you will see a totally different way of discussing this about C and while and loop and everything. That is language. We have a totally wrong concept about language and programming. That's why you are expecting me to teach you language on the programming session. So don't forget this 101. This is very critical for you, whoever stuck. The problem here is I don't want you to stuck anywhere. Why I'm telling you this is very critical. This is very critical what you are going now. Later embedded system programming. Those who are doing this C programming, I know your problem. I know some of your problems in the loops and everything. I'm finding it out. When I give a problem, how fast you are doing it is very important. First you do it, then you do how fast you are doing it. You are not trying a problem second time. You are not trying a loop problem second time. Every time. Somebody have some C problem. We will discuss about the C session. Next session we'll discuss. Here I'm discussing about programming. What are the things we do that? That's we don't confuse with the C and programming. Okay. So any C problems, ask me on the C sessions while I'll explain. There's all a set of rules. There's nothing to teach you. But this is a very tricky one, which you don't get it. Yeah, somebody has asked very good question. I don't understand the difference between programming and language. Got superb. That is a thing I wanted. I thought somebody will ask, and somebody has asked the same question. Most of you getting confused. When I say that language and programming, this is a very, very simple thing. I have very simple thing. I know only addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and this, which we know that. Using this a very limited resource, I wanted to do some task. That's it. This is what about programming. So I know very little. You know very little. But you want to do a big task. That is all about programming. But what you have to do here is slowly, we have to increase the size of the task. First, I have to do a very small task. I will say that whether the number is, that's all I started giving. Whether the number is, find out only the first digit or the last digit. I mean, the 100th digit, like that. Then we'll ask you to reverse the number. Do the very small task. You have to increase the level of programming. But without, one thing, you will not increase your knowledge on C language. You will not try to learn more. You learn little bit C, then day by day increasing your ability to solve the problems, bigger problems, without knowing, learning more about the language. That is called programming. Understand? I know very limited resource. I'm trying to achieve a big things. That is called programming. The language is the one. When I am trying to do the hit tag, I get stuck here. I know that, hey, if I do this way, this gets stuck. Do I have any possibility in the language? You should go that time to the language. What you are doing is, I'll tell you what is the mistake you are doing. The question was clear. You have learned the language so much. You are trying to apply to your programming. And you get confused. Oh, I know arrays. I know structures. I know pointers. You know so many things. Okay, I know strings. You know everything. Now, when I am asking you to program, you try to apply everything. You know what to apply, you get confused. This is not the way you should learn programming. Please understand. Maybe out of 1,001 or 1,00,001 could be do that, but let us not do that. There's a generic procedure for this. I wish we have a confusion. Who should learn programming? Everybody have to learn programming. Please understand. If I ask you 756 by 498, if you don't know multiplication, are you ready to add these two numbers? 756, 756, 756, 750, like that, 498 times. Are you ready to add? No, you learn multiplication like that. In your field, if you know programming, you will do it faster. Okay, that's the way. So please understand, know little bit language. Don't know more. You don't try to concentrate on learning the language. Then keep increasing your skill. But at one point, you know that. That is a trick. At one point, you feel that I stuck. You get stuck. That's called exactly the ideal way of learning. That is possible generally in school days. You know why it is possible in school? That's why I did a big research. Those who got a very good a good computer master for the students, those who got in 12th, 11th and 12th. If you got a very good master, trainer, teacher, computer teacher doing 7th and 12th, they're all doing excellent. If I take about 100 people, 90 people had a very good teacher in the 11th and 12th. Why school days you are learning better programming? Because the expectation was less. But today, when you come to the college, you have a different expectation. You want to learn everything fast. You want to catch the thing, you lost the time. You want to catch everything fast. So in that moment, you lose it out. So the ideal method is this. Ideal method is allow you to go there and stuck at one point, then teach you the next C. This is ideal. But everybody will be get out of my C training program if you do the ideal method. That's why what we do here is, when you are coming here, at some point when you come, I know that you are going to stuck. I know that you're going to stuck here. I will teach you the next level of C at this point. You understand? We always compromise between the ideal and the practical. But the another worst scenario is when you start learning programming, teach you all the C language here itself. Before you start doing your programming, learn about bitwise operators, learn about everything. That's the problem. Yeah, somebody has written. Very true that we agree. That is no, that's not wrong. Even now, try to learn this way. Don't try to do this way. I've seen people try this way and stuck here. After some time they quit. That is wrong. Do this way. That's why I'm trying to say loops is a very, very never get out of the loops. Okay. Normally I have 35 problems. This time I'll increase it to 50. I'll increase more problems. If any one of you wanted to have practice more problems, I'll give you. I don't mind. So very, very good techniques is loop. Don't get stuck in the loop. Loop is very simple. If you practice with the if and go to, it's a very good one. This is I always give priority for this. But you should know, once you understand the loop, at one point, you should go back to for. See, everything is becoming so commercial. Everything is becoming so expectation. That's a problem. Okay. If you say that I'm spending 1 hour every day, I'm ready till I learn it. I'm ready. I told you, that's why I never fix there's a first time a course does not have a time limit, because I know that programming, this programming task, I want you to learn programming. I don't want you to learn programming within 1 month. Okay. That's also possible. That's also possible. If I sit with you 8 hours a day, we spend only with you, it's possible. Then don't say that 1 month is not, but it's possible. But they all a different methodology altogether, and you need to your environment will be changed like that. So don't, when you are trying to learn programming, don't go beyond the thing. First to do if, go to, then move to for or while. I never give an example of anything here, because anything will spoil you. Can't be a perfect programmer. Somebody has asked that, can't be a perfect programmer within 1 month. Yeah, it is not perfect programming. It is called, generally you can be a good programmer. See, today we have one problem is a job. Job is a criteria today. You have to understand the thing. Once you get into a job, you will be a programmer, you will do everything. I don't mind. But because there is a pressure, job pressure and so many things, goal, everything, you will automatically become a, see, let me be another thing, very tell you honest. You have a big problem. By birth, you are a programmer. By birth, you are a programmer. Please understand. So By birth, you are naturally you are a programmer, but you've been made to believe that you are not a programmer. That's a problem. That is what I have a problem. I'm fighting a problem here because you have a natural ability of programming is there with you, but you are believing that you don't know programming. That's, you see, this is a, please understand, the entire programming is a psychological one, not a technical or not a knowledge one. It is a pure psychology. The moment you learn that, the moment you understand that you are a programmer, natural programmer, you will solve all these problems. Nothing. That is what we don't know. That is what most people, we trainers, are getting confused. Some students understand that in 1 month. Some students understand that in 3 months. Some students understand in 6 months. That's why I'm telling you not to quit, because you may achieve this. Then the moment you achieve that, you go fast. That break even is very important. Till this is a full mental block. This programming is nothing to do with, please understand, the programming is nothing to do with the C language. You get confused because it's something, no. I'm telling you now, having addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus, 5 operators, and decimal, and only integer, not anything else. Don't worry about character or anything. Understand this. Then having only if and go to. See, knowing only this much, I've written only this. See that. You know if, go to, you know decimal, you know addition, no, forget about all the other things. Octal to everything, string and symbol, everything. Same way, forget about all the other things, long, long, everything. With this, you can be a wonderful programmer. But once you become a wonderful programmer, all the other things, whether you want to convert to if to for, it's about another 1 minute. For to while, another 1 minute. You will switch them. You will switch to everything. It's no time. Right now, your problem is you are trying to do 2 things. You are trying to learn the language, and you are trying to learn the programming. Understand why I'm explaining this is, you get stuck in the loop. Everybody, most 90% of programmers, beginners, they stuck at loop and leave it. That's why I say that please use this if and go to. Don't use the for and why. Because the problem is, there's a big difference here. But why I'm telling you to use if and go to. For beginners, those who already know about for, proceed with that. I'm not stopping them. The trick is that when you use a if and go to, you know what is happening. When you do for example, here is a trick. If I write a program here, for I is equal to 0, I less than 100, I plus plus. Printf percentage D, comma I. Am I right? I do something here. What is the value of I? What's the value of I? Normally we give a confusion. Yeah, correct. Somebody has given a right answer. So we have a lot of things. We have a lot of issues here. But if you do the same thing here, see here, if I is less than 100, go to loop. See, I is less than 100, go to loop. So it get out of here. It is coming out here and printing I. When it will come out, the moment I say I is 0, I plus plus. I increment the I now. Understand? The moment I reaches 100, this condition is failed. It will come out. I know that. You understand? Now I know that it will be print 100. Because I see that exactly my statement. Okay. So that is the advantage of using the if in a loop. You know exactly what is happening. But when you use it on while, when you use it on for or while, you sometimes get confused. That's a problem. Okay, so that I'll explain to you on the next session. The kind of all the similarities between these three. I'll try to prove you that while, for, if, all are same. So don't worry, all are same. So loops. So please, why I'm taking this session is very important. Normally, this is the first time I'm taking these sessions, the programming, this many section. Why I thing is I wanted to personally request everybody, please do. I'm not seeing the still, even though I say so many things, I found out that 90% of you people are procrastinating. Okay, that's not right. I know that this is the one which is going to give you a big treasure. And I am ready to help you all the time. I'm ready to help you all the time. This is a very rare combinations where the thing is that I'm requesting you all the people only one thing. Don't give priority for C language. I can teach you anytime. You come next week. Once you say programming, I want C language, I can even one-on-one teach you C language. Or any of a recorded video you see, you will learn C language. But if you do not start the C programming, you will never do that. And I'm telling you once again, most of you get stuck in loop. Once you get stuck in loop, try for some time, ask for help. I will help you out. I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a different problem and solve you the thing. But never say that, oh, I don't understand loop, quit. Or postpone. Or procrastinate. No, don't do that with the loop. I'm repeatedly telling you this. One of the most simplest thing is loop. It's a very natural process what you have. But very unfortunately, the programming, don't mistake me. Even I did same thing. I quit the programming when I was doing my master's in IIT. I learned the C programming. After loop comes, I don't understand. I quit. I didn't learn. Even same. I'm not trying to say that somebody is example. Okay, this is the biggest problem here. The problem here is this. We do not. This is, I'm ready. Anywhere you stop here, see, let somebody takes 1 day, somebody like 10 days. Fine, that doesn't matter. You at least 10 days, you understand the loop. Don't hesitate to ask me. This is a very, very simple one. The thing is that, but I'm not explaining beyond that. See, I can tell you the problems here, how to do for within the for and out, and I can do that. But right now, that does not help you. I can even solve you here. How do I do the prime number problem? It's very simple. Or any other problems, any toughest problems I can do, I can take it and solve. But by seeing that, you will lose your creativity. I want you to try. I don't want you to know. There's two different things are there. This is called knowledge. I don't want you to know. I want you to try. Okay, so please understand. I don't know. I'm putting it correctly or not. I'm putting it correctly or not to you. That's the biggest problem now. I wanted to take this platform today that see, I told you that if you wanted to have this programming class, another extended sometime, I'm ready. I'm not going to worry that. I told you already, all the time limits are only for generic one. But I don't mind. I extend any amount of time as long as you learn. Okay. That's why I put a time limit for the program also. But my only request is this loop is a very important thing. if you get a stuck also, I have some programs in the Google Drive. I can share it to small problems. So if you look at them, you will try to understand. I'm seeing the problem. People are actually they get stuck here. When I tell them a small hint, they proceed, then they go further. Then they stuck at one place and go. But the trick is doing continuously. This doing continuously. I told right now I have 55 problems and application, but I'll increase it, but solve them as early as possible. Before we touch the embedded system programming class, if you are good at programming, because you have a schedule, you know that. You have an embedded system programming, when it's going to start, you have a schedule with you. Please, before this starts, please have a good level. That is at least up to 35 problems, very comfortable. At least 35 problems, very comfortable. Okay. Or you can, not 35. I told you, that there are 2 levels in the C. What we are discussing now, that is called allocation and allocation, strings, assignment, operation, and decision making. These 4 are sufficient. These 4 are sufficient for us to do these problems. If you are very good at that, we will start with a very good embedded system programming, please. And I'll tell you one important task on next class, Monday class. Then you will be very clear. That's about functions. Then you will try to understand about how we are building with a very small tasks, how we build a big task. Once this is clear on next class, you will be able to understand better, but keep practicing the loops. So let's take a break. Already I think I've spent about 10 minutes extra. I'll take a break for about 2-3 minutes. Then we will discuss about the C language. There I'll compare about the for and while everything, but don't get confused between the C language and the C programming. If you know very little, be happy. If you know very little, be happy. You are a good programmer. I might understand. Using that very little, become a programmer. This is enough. What you learned so far is enough to be a good programmer. Then I'll explain to you about other things. These are called arrays, strings, and pointers. Once you understand them, what it is, you will do it. Then structures and union, that you will do practicing more. So these are all requires a practice. Okay. So next session we discuss about language. Then you will know that what is this the if and for as a language wise. Okay, let me stop the recording. I didn't see the time, very unfortunate.